this fight comes down to who makes the adjustments at halftime, right? So here it is.
Before you
Fury.
give your
not a
prediction.
prediction.
Right.
I'm just going to break it down.
Give me a warning before you give it.
I'm not going to give it. I'll wait for you to
right.
tell me. It's going to go where it's going to be down. Of course, it comes to the right hand.
Mm-hmm.
Can he land that right hand again? And so on the side of, I'll go on Fury's side first. You made a miss a lot. People forgot that because they look at the punch. That's why we're here, because of the ones that landed, not because of the ones that missed.
Mm-hmm.
But he missed for 9 rounds. For 9 rounds, he made this guy miss. But you know that what he didn't do? Customato would say this. Teddy, he did the hard part. He didn't do the fun part.
Yeah.
He didn't hit him back enough. You know what? I mean, it's kind of like having peanut butter. You like peanut butter?
Yep.
Of course, it's got protein.
Mm-hmm.
And you're all about protein. You got to build those, for the race, for the next race. Well, it's kind of like peanut butter without jelly. What's the sense? What's the sense, Ken?
Yep.
You got to have them together. And all night long, really, for me, I break it down. I'm supposed to know what I'm looking at when I look at this stuff, right? That's why I did it for 20 years at ESPN and why training fighters for 40 years. Supposed to know something, I hope. I'm looking at him saying, he had the peanut butter. He's making a miss, but no jelly. He wasn't hitting him. How many times he stepped out at the right range, he being Fury, and he made this guy fall in and look awkward and sloppy and everything else. But he didn't cash in. He didn't put the jelly with it. He didn't hit him. So for me, that's what it comes down to. You did the hard part, do the fun part. Hit him more. Mm-hmm. Hit him more. Mm-hmm. When you step out with your jab at the right distance, bop, bop, you step out and you make the guy fall in, right? You can make him fall in. Wilder, he did it the first time. This time, count on him. Don't just make a miss. Don't just make a miss and then make show. I mean, the only guy I don't mind doing that was Mayweather. Mayweather made me laugh when I think it was against Madonna. Madonna threw a big wide punch at him, and Mayweather made a miss. And I was there in the arena, and Mayweather, I forget what I was there for. I was there for ESPN. We were covering the fight, so for Sports Center. So anyway, Mayweather made a miss, and when he made a miss, Mayweather did this. Like he went flying past. It was kind of cool. He made a miss. Whoa! He went there. He go. and so, but Fury can't do that. Floyd could do that, but you can't do that. You gotta when you make a miss, pop, pop, pop. You gotta come back.
Yep.
So that's the one thing. That's the one thing that strikes me is that Fury's got to do that. Obviously, he's got to do that more. There's other things to it. We're going to do a fight plan where the people will be. I don't know what it'll be first. This is the fight plan, I think.
The fight plan will be posted next Monday on YouTube. So if you listen to the show only on podcast, please check out the YouTube thing. The Monday before the fight, we'll have a full fight plan in ring with Teddy and I demonstrating what to look for from each guy. Yeah. So you'll see more. Obviously, you'll see more of that. But that's one of the things for the adjustments at halftime, and then. For the other guy, Wilder, so he doesn't get himself into that position where he needs the knockdowns to pull it out of the fire. Mm-hmm. Because that's what it's about with him now. Don't fall behind. Don't get behind the 8 ball. Don't get behind. And I'm not so sure he was that far behind after I watched it the second time, to be quiet. Because again, I said it. It was like watching the Jaws where those bullies there wasn't no ripples in the water. Yeah.
Wasn't much. But the perception was that Fury, and this is interesting, but Fury was winning because Wilder wasn't able to land. Just on that.
Yeah.
Just because he wasn't able to do, he was a big favorite. He wasn't able to land the TNT, so he must be winning. Because he's a big guy and he's agile and he's out. So we're giving him credit that he's winning. When you still got to hit the guy to be winning,
Yeah.
So I think part of that was going on. There's no doubt in my mind. But at the end of the day, he was losing. On the scorecards, Wilder was losing, and he came back with those knockdowns because those knockdowns obviously turned it into a draw. 2 10-8 rounds late in the fight. So what does he have to do to make sure he's not in that precarious position, needing a knockdown again? Well, first of all, straightening the right hand out might not be a bad idea,
right? Instead of a crooked punch or straight punch. That's one thing. Using your jab, you got a long jab. Oh, my God. I mean, if he was here right now and you said something you didn't like, he'd smack you with his jab and he'd hit you. I mean, that's how long his jab is.
Oh, I know.
So, and he doesn't always use it that way. So use it, lower it a little bit. Use it to the chest of Fury. Fury's going to move. Hit him in the chest so at least you stabilize him. You control what Fury can and can't do on the outside. That's a good idea. That's one of the things you could do. But another thing is, look at the film. Again, look at the film. And see how many times you missed the right hand. You load it up, you throw it. Why? But what did the other guy do to make you miss? He slipped not 80% of the time. Slip means move your head. He not 80%, Ken. Not 90. Not 99. 100. That's predictability, buddy. 100% of the time, Fury moved his head to the right. You can't let him get away with that again. If you call yourself a trainer, if you call yourself a professional fighter that picks up, I mean, Brady wouldn't even need Belichick to tell him. He wouldn't even need him to tell him. I mean, again, he's moving his head to one side, to the right, and you're missing the right hand. Sometimes the left, right. You're missing. You're going right past him. So what do? Same thing you do in a halftime football game. You got a team that is stopping the run on one side. You do a reverse. You do a trick play. You get them to get in a position where they think you're coming and you're going somewhere else. You're doing something else. That's what you do. So what do? The adjustments for Wilder, instead of just throwing a naked, cold, and throwing that, and he slips to the right, you give a little feint. You give him a little feint. You make him move his head. And again, the fight plan's going to have it better. Yeah. But you make him move his head. And when he moves his head over, now you shoot the right hand when he's there. Not you don't go chasing his head. You move his head and you put his head where you want it, and then you knock it off the block. And that's what you do. That's the level. That's the level we're talking about. That's the thing. In going back just for a second in the Andrade fight, that was a little disappointing with Keeler. He had the guy. This is a different level, but he had a guy that he was supposed to dominate, and then at the end of the day, he dominated. He knocked him out, but he didn't do it in the class way. He didn't do it in the sophisticated way. Where the class showed of it. He didn't do it in that way. That's what was missing. And he's got all the power in the world. He's got the hammer of Thor in his right hand. But we want to see, he's a heavyweight champion of the world. We want to see the expertise. And now getting a second run at it, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. You got to make those adjustments. So now instead of just boom, and missing, he moves his head, gotcha.
And to Wilder's credit, every time he's had a rematch against someone who he's fought before, he looked much better the second time. I mean, he was getting outboxed by Ortiz, but my God, when he caught him,
Ortiz, by the way, news info, 41 years old when he fought him the second time. I'm just saying.
Allegedly.
But he could be older.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other guy, Stavern, the rematch with Stavern, was out of boxing for 2 years, I believe. Hadn't fought for 2 years, right? I think,
very fair.
I think I'm being accurate.
Very fair.
And didn't show up to win.
Yep.
Really, was heavier, wasn't ready mentally. Hadn't fought for 2 years. I mean, he was like, okay, take me to the firing squad, and can I have a blindfold, please?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right.
So. That's the adjustments Wilder's got to make. And one other thing, when he moved his head, he being Fury, when he moved his head like this, when he went over like this to get away from the right hand, then sometimes that made the jab miss, and the right hand was coming like a millisecond behind it. So he weaved back.
Yeah.
And he weaved back. But what they didn't notice, you know what he did? And we're going to do it in the fight plan. Yeah. I did notice it. What he did, he bent forward. And then he went back. So for that split second, he leaned forward. So an uppercut, perfect. And you never really saw his uppercut. You saw his jab, you saw his right hand, the jab that he threw, and you saw the right hand. But you never saw an uppercut. I would want, if I'm the trainer of him, I would want to see an uppercut this fight. Again, a little feint. He slips over there. He starts to lean forward instead of the straight right hand. Bow! The uppercut. Yeah. Let him walk into it. Again, adjustment, halftime. Halftime, you see it. You look at the film. Film don't lie. Don't lie. But that's up to you to make the adjustments. So for me, are you ready for my prediction?
Before you give the predictions being sponsored by MyBookie. Check them out at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Atlas for 50% credit on
See,
your
now
first
you're going to get
deposit.
the shark going to come up, right? But you set it up nice, Ken.
Yeah.
Now the shark's about to come out of the water. Go ahead.
it to him.
Go ahead, finish.
That's it. Use the promo code Atlas, 50% credit on your first deposit, and get ready for some easy money. Give it to him, Teddy.
I'm going with Wilder. A lot of people are like, they're going with Fury. Maybe some of it, their feelings, they want to see the underdog, his story. He's got a great story. Hey, Wilder's got a good story, too. He's got a good story, too. Taking care of a daughter that was born with some problems, and he's been a good father, and he's been able to take care of her. It's a beautiful story, and Fury's got a beautiful story. You know, he got to a place in life where nobody should get to, where he didn't want to live no more.
Yep.
And he decided to live it and to not lose his life, not to give up his life. And so, you know, it's some people might be caught up in that story. But at the end of the day, I'm going with Wilder, not just because of the right hand. I'm going with him that he does have the chance. He did finally land it late in the fight. He could pick up where he left off. He finally figured it out a little bit. But there's another reason. I haven't seen really a change in Fury. You know, you made a good point. He switched trainers a couple times already. I haven't seen he's going to be what he's going to be. I did see him be gritty, and in that second fight on ESPN,
Otto Wallen.
Yeah, Wallen.
Yeah.
You know, he
overcame a huge
he
cut.
overcame a cut, and he just went after it, you know, and he showed a different dimension instead of that cutie dimension, you know. So he showed that, but I don't think he can do that.
No.
You know, that might be a little bit of suicidal, but I think that he's got to be the cutie, he's got to be the smart guy, he's got to be the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, all those things I said. In this fight, but I feel that Wilder has added something. He's added a delivery system that I picked up on about 2 fights ago. We talked about it on our show, where he mesmerized you with the jab, and then bop, the right hand's right behind it. Not like boom, boom, but it was before. Now it's like boom, boom, bop, and you don't see it. George Foreman did it. Tefilio Stevenson did it. As I said earlier, the great Olympian who won 3 gold medals and one of only 3 people in the world in the history of the sport, Olympic sport of boxing, that has won 3 gold medals in Olympics. He was with the great Cuban team. He used to do it. Igamar Johansson did it when he knocked out Floyd Patterson. George Foreman, the great George Foreman, and he is great. He is smart. I mean, anyone who could make $200 million selling a freaking grill, guy's great. Besides what he did in the ring, and so you know, and they all did it where they lie to you. They lie to you, Ken. They lie to you.
Yeah.
They make you think you're safe because they're only throwing the jab 3/4, so you're safe, and so you think that's the end of the line of danger. You know what I mean? But it's not. It's about 3 inches further because they didn't extend the jab.
Yep.
And Wilder's learned how to do that, make you feel safe. You stand in front, you cooperate a little bit, and then boom, you don't realize that it's right on top of you. You don't have time to register in your brain, and the lights are out. Good night, and you know, you're snoring and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he's got that going into this second fight. And the other reason why I'm picking Wilder is because there's a part of me that doesn't feel that Fury can be any better than he was the first time, emotionally, mentally, and technically. That he fought the best fight he could. He could fight.
Yeah.
I know people are going to say, but Teddy, he could avoid that right, then it's a better fight. Yeah, I got it. But he fought about as good as he could fight. And he handled the pressure. He did everything really good. And he still got caught. He still got caught.
Twice.
Still got caught twice. And so, again, when I handicap a fight, I try to do it from all the dimensions and angles that I think you should. And I'm trying to give that to them, you know, all those for what it's worth. And I think that pretty much sums it up for me, that I I think that Wilder's the one guy bringing something new with the delivery system. And I think that, again, that it's going to be who makes the adjustments too, looks at the film. And I feel that Fury, to a certain extent, and I'll get pushback on this, but I don't know that he thinks he can get better because it is a mental game.
Mm-hmm.
He fought so good, almost perfect, and he still got caught twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that he can mentally go into the fight thinking that he can better that.
Mm-hmm.
And that means something. That does mean something. And he's had, listen, I know he lives in some people are comfortable living in chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a My Pillow.
Yeah.
That
guy's commercials haunt my dreams. If I hear them all day on TV, if I'm watching
I don't want to
CNBC.
hear no more My Pillow. You know what I mean?
I'm to the point where I refuse to even take a My Pillow if you send me a free one, just because I'm so aggravated with those commercials.
I agree. We could do an episode on My Pillow and the do's and don'ts and the things about My Pillow that drive you just freaking nuts. But some people can live in a chaotic chaos world, upside down world, a world of swirling things going all different ways, which obviously is part of the world of Fury. And they can be comfortable. They can get a good night's sleep, But at what point does that world just affect you a little bit? At what point?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he handled it so beautifully the first time. Can he handle it, that world, the whirlwinds of that world that I'm describing? Can he handle it again, a second time? Again, it's got nothing to do with favoritism or anything. It's got to do with purely logic in my mind of why I'm picking. I'm going with Wilder, 9th round knockout. I'm even going to give you a knockout.
There you have it.
I'm a round. I'm even going to give you a round.
All right. Wilder by knockout in the 9th round.
Or close. Or they're up. They're close.
Lock it in, Rob. And again, check out mybookie.ag. If you like Teddy's pick, jump on it. 50% credit if you use the promo code ATLAS, ATLAS.